Hey guys, this is Dr. Blair. I just wanted to show you what I'm doing to make my N95 mask last longer and how to make a reusable face shield out of a simple snorkeling mask. Basically, you can get this mask at Walmart. I got this one there for $35. I'm sure some other retailers have similar products. These work great. If you take a look at this one that's assembled, you can see here's the snorkel. We never even assembled that onto the mask. And what we've got here is a mask where the intake chamber would be here at the top, and we've got a small valve similar to what you have on your N95 mask for whenever you breathe out. So all we're going to do is take our N95 masks and make them into smaller pieces so we can cover this, use a rubber band and or tape to hold it and make a good seal, and then you've got your mask and you're ready to go, and you can just simply replace this. I just want to go over a few things here that you might use to do this. Of course, you've got your N95 masks, a ruler, scissors, a felt tip marker so that you don't damage the mask. We want to preserve the integrity of the mask and not use a ballpoint pen if possible, and our snorkeling mask here. This snorkel mask actually came with these O-rings and some replacement O-rings, which are great for holding the piece of N95 mask over the air hole. You can use this. You could use a hair tie or a rubber band or a tape. I'd recommend going ahead and wrapping tape around the edge of it just so that it doesn't come loose or the rubber band doesn't somehow pop off. So all we're doing is taking our N95 mask and figuring out what size piece of mask you're going to need to cover this. In this case, a piece here that's just about 2 inches by 3 inches will cover this one just fine. You could probably go just a little bit smaller than that here. And so that's what I've done, and then kind of laid it out over the mask and figured out here, if you look, with only cutting that little section there of the mask to open it up a little, we can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 uses of this mask. Now, the mask that you may come across that I got from one of my construction friends has this breather valve on it. Basically, these are to let the air out whenever you breathe out instead of having it blow the seal loose on the mask and fog up your glasses and stuff like that. So you'll have to cut around this. You don't want to use that in this portion of the mask, and just use the most real estate that you can. And I'll just point out that this little section of this mask is pretty much the exact same thing that you have here. It's fine to leave that open. You shouldn't have to cover it. You'll notice whenever you put this mask on and breathe, it's a one-way valve. It lets you blow out, but it doesn't let any air in. And in fact, that's how you can test it. If you try to suck in, you'll see that it kind of sucks the mask down against your face, and so you know you've got a really good seal there. So anyway, that part is just fine. You just want to do this part. Now, what I've found is as soon as you start cutting these masks, what we get is this, the mask kind of tries to fall apart on you. And this could become a problem, especially if you keep having to put this back on your mask after you clean it or whatnot. So you could use it that way if you don't have one of these sealers. But what I like about this is you don't have to use the vacuum part. This we have in the kitchen. You just set this over the seal part, close it, lock it down, hit seal, and basically you'll come up with a nice little sealed edge instead of this this open edge of the quilted part of the mask. And that's kind of nice. I wouldn't seal any over the part of the mask or that's going to be actually providing your filter, but just over the edges so that it doesn't fray and fall apart. You can see here, that one's now sealed, and it does a pretty good job, kind of like what you can see they do whenever they manufacture them. So now that you've got your small piece of N95 mask sealed and ready to use, we just have to attach it to our mask. I'm using the O-ring that came with this set. You might want to use a rubber band or a hair tie if your set doesn't come with that. And you simply place it on there like so. Be sure that you've got all the edges under the rubber band so that it makes a good seal. This is where I would go ahead and maybe wrap a piece of tape around this, just because if you were to tug on one of these, you could lose your seal on your rubber band, and you don't want to lose that. But once you get all that on there, then you're basically ready to go and take care of your patients.